The parents of the accused shooter in the Oxford High School tragedy face a judge today. We're going to take you inside the courtroom for the very latest developments. Plus, backups continue near the U.S.-Canadian border for a second day. Good afternoon, Andrew.
Hello there, Karen, and good afternoon, everyone. The sunshine has returned. Now, we still need our winter coats, but for how long? Guess what? Some higher temps are on the way, even tonight. We'll talk more about that in your 7-day forecast first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. Thanks for joining us for a special edition of First at 4 here on clickondetroit.com and Local 4 Plus. We begin in Rochester Hills, where James and Jennifer Crumbley, the parents of accused Oxford school shooter Ethan Crumbley, are in a hearing to determine if their case will move to trial. Today in court, prosecutors played a 911 call made by James Crumbley in the aftermath of the shooting.
I'm at my house. There's an active shooter situation going on at the high school. My son goes to high school. I have a missing gun at my house. I need an officer to come to my house right away, please.
Now, with more on today's developments in the courtroom, let's get over to Priya Mann. She's live with a look at what has been a very explosive day.
Yeah, that's right, Karen. For the first time, we're learning about texts and phone calls James and Jennifer Crumbley made on the day of the shooting and getting a sense of the prosecution's case against them. The first witness testified Jennifer told her last summer that Ethan didn't have many friends and kept to himself.
She thought that it was weird that he wasn't out doing things like a normal kid.
Kira Pennock owns a horse farm that the Crumbleys often visited. On the day of the Oxford High School shooting, Kira says Jennifer texted her a picture that Ethan had drawn. The image depicted a gun, a bloody figure, and the words, "My life is useless."
I was alarmed. I thought that was not normal for...
What was alarming to you about it?
All of the violence all over the page. It just didn't really seem like something that a kid would do on a test in school.
Ethan's parents had a meeting with school officials about that drawing. Hours later, the teen allegedly opened fire. Jennifer's supervisor testified she left work again and called him.
I recall her saying she was trying to get to her child's school. She sounded frantic. You could hear an ambulance or sirens in the background, and that their gun was missing or their gun was missing.
Andrew Smith says Jennifer Crumbley continued to text.
OMG, Andy, he's going to kill himself. He must be the shooter.
And then the next text?
I need a lawyer at substation with police.
And then what else?
Ethan did it.
The supervisor testified he was surprised Jennifer seemed more concerned about losing her job.
She asked if I could recommend a lawyer.
And what did you say?
At the time, I couldn't think of anything. I was completely in shock and overwhelmed by what we had learned and couldn't think of anyone that I would in a million years be able to suggest for this matter.
And James and Jennifer Crumbley were both charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter and have pleaded not guilty. We'll have much more tonight at 5.
All right. Thank you, Priya. Well, the backups continue as drivers wait and wait to cross the Blue Water Bridge. Sky 4 over the scene this morning near the border of Michigan and Canada as traffic is backed up for miles. On Monday, demonstrations from the Canadian Freedom Convoy halted traffic at the Ambassador Bridge. The group is protesting a mandate that requires drivers entering Canada to be fully vaccinated or agree to testing and quarantine protocols. The chairman of the Detroit International Bridge released a statement that reads in part, "International commerce needs to resume." The Ambassador Bridge and the Maroon family sympathize with truck drivers and those caught up in this blockade. The Ambassador Bridge has a solemn obligation to facilitate safe and efficient international trade and travel. We encourage the appropriate officials to take prompt action to alleviate the situation as quickly as possible in a manner that reflects mutual respect. All right, now to the coronavirus. State senators today pass a spending bill to help combat the virus. The $1.2 billion deal includes $300 million to help hospitals and other health care to give recruitment and retention bonuses. The bill now moves to the House. Meantime, the number of cases and hospitalization continue to decline across the state. The 7-day moving case average has dropped to 5,500 as of Monday. Now, to put those numbers in a little perspective for you, the 7-day average was 17,500 on January 19th. Hospitals are also seeing signs of progress. The total number of patients hospitalized have dropped to 2,639, the lowest since last November. Now, the number of children hospitalized has also dropped to below 70. We do have a Help Me Hank alert for you, and it's from the FDA for some of those at-home COVID-19 tests. The voluntary recall is for SD Biosensors COVID-19 tests because the product was illegally imported into the U.S. The tests are not authorized, cleared, or approved by the FDA for distribution or use in the U.S. The FDA says consumers who have the tests should discard them and not use them. If you have used them, you may want to consider getting retested with an FDA-authorized kit. President Joe Biden celebrating what he calls another American manufacturing success story. He spoke at the White House just a short time ago about an Australian company that will build chargers for electric cars in a plant near Nashville, Tennessee.
Tritium's new facility is going to produce up to 30,000 of these chargers every year. They'll use American parts, American iron, American steel, and they'll be installed up and down the highways and corridors in our communities all across the country by union workers from the IBEW and the Electrical Workers Union. So the benefits are going to ripple to thousands of miles in every direction.
The new plant is expected to create about 500 local jobs and should start production by this fall. Well, some residents on Detroit's east side are celebrating a new beginning that starts with vacant houses coming down. Today, reporters were invited to see Proposal N in action with the demolition of 2 more vacant properties. The city says 324 have been demolished or stabilized in District 3. There's more to come with 419 planned demolitions and another 320 stabilizations scheduled for the future. Today, the city invited residents to talk about how the vacant homes were magnets for trouble with animals and people using them for shelter.
They would come and they would go up in the houses and they would sleep. And then you had the animals, and then you had the possums and the rats and the raccoons, and that's why all the holes is in the roofs and everything. So it is a great need to be torn down.
Tonight at 5 on Local 4, the new hopes Miss Harris has for her neighborhood on Caldwell Street now that those vacant homes are coming down. Everett Cassamy will have that story. First at 4, we're on top of stories making headlines around the world on your Tuesday. Western leaders push for diplomacy as tensions along the Russia-Ukraine border are rising. French President Emmanuel Macron said today Russian Vladimir Putin has told him he would not further escalate the Ukraine crisis during their marathon talks at the Kremlin on Monday. Macron's remarks came during a visit to the Ukrainian capital after the Kremlin denied reports that he and Putin struck a deal on the de-escalating crisis. Now, Moscow has massed over 120,000 troops near Ukraine's borders, but insists it has no plans to attack. Meantime, planes carrying U.S. soldiers and vehicles landed in Poland today, adding to the numbers that arrived on Monday. More planes are expected to arrive close to the border with Ukraine later this week. The troops are among 1,700 service members, mainly from the 82nd Airborne Division based at Fort Bragg, being deployed to Poland to protect NATO if there is a Russian attack on Ukraine. Retired Pope Benedict has asked for forgiveness today for any, quote, grievous faults in his handling of clergy sex abuse cases. An independent report recently criticized his actions in 4 cases while he was an archbishop in Germany. Benedict's lack of a personal apology has really angered sex abuse survivors. While Benedict asked for forgiveness, he did not admit to any personal or specific wrongdoing. All right, let's get over to Andrew for a look at what we can expect for the rest of our afternoon and this evening.
Hey there, Karen. Good to see you as always. And it's always wonderful to see the sun during times of the day like this, and this time of the year especially. Certainly does feel nice, even with these cold temperatures that are out there. We have temperatures that are in the 20s right now. Wind chills are in the teens, so yes, we still need our winter coats. Sunglasses possibly needed as well. But you know what? This wind down the south-southwest is going to bring some higher temperatures even for tonight, and they extend into tomorrow. Take a look for yourself. Temperatures right now are mostly in the 20s. They dip a bit before midnight, but look at how they rise while we are sleeping. From the 20s into the low 30s. And yes, well into the middle, even upper 30s tomorrow afternoon. Another welcome sight to see. But there is the chance of a few snowflakes. We'll talk about that in a second. First, we've got 20s all over the map here. 26 for our friends in Sandusky. Hello, Brighton, you've got 27 at this hour. Middle and upper 20s to our south as well. 28 degrees for our neighbors over in Dundee. And a bit of a wider view shows the strong southerly wind that's providing some relatively warm air to have the chance to make it in here. How warm? At least slightly. I mean, down to our south, it's 30 in Columbus. We'll take every degree we can get, right? Yes, it's 3 degrees higher, but 44 in Indianapolis. Now, we'll see temperatures rise into the 30s overnight tonight, and we stay in the 30s all day tomorrow. And here's what that means in your 4-zone weather in terms of the high temperature for your Wednesday. Something to plan for some thawing. Temperatures in the middle and upper 30s, close to 40 degrees here in the metro zone. Middle and upper 30s also from Dundee over to Adrian for tomorrow, 37 to 39 degrees. West of 275, temps mostly in the middle 30s, 34 to 37. From Brighton over to Novi and over toward Ann Arbor. And north of Hall Road, same sort of deal. Above freezing and some melting going on as far north as Sandusky with a high tomorrow of 36. And over our heads, we'll continue to see sunshine. We have an approaching cold front. Ahead of that, the mild influx of air overnight and into tomorrow. Once this cold front arrives, we'll see an increase in clouds for tomorrow. You see some bits of green and also some blue showing up here as this front passes. So there is the chance of a few passing snowflakes and raindrops tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Any accumulation of snow remains on the very light side, anywhere from a trace to a ½ inch or so, and much of that melts when it hits solid surfaces because the temperatures will be so high. So don't have to worry about any big pileup of snow over the next 24 to 48 hours at least. So temperatures actually higher than they are right now for tonight. We'll see overnight temperatures mostly in the low 30s by tomorrow morning. Sunrise is at just after 7:30. We're looking at temperatures tomorrow that rise from the low 30s in the morning to the middle and upper 30s in the afternoon. Sunshine in the morning, cloudier skies in the afternoon, with again a rain-snow mix by 4 p.m. and then possibly a rain-snow mix also occurring by around 8 o'clock in the evening. Again, any snow accumulation is going to be minor. Then as we go into Thursday, a little bit chillier, a temperature of 33 with on and off snowflakes that may be around. Another chance of a mix of morning snow then afternoon rain because temperatures rise again from lower than freezing in the 20s on Friday morning to 37 in the afternoon. After another cold front passes, that sets the stage for a colder Super Bowl weekend with highs in the 20s, lows in the teens and single digits for both Saturday and Sunday.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Andrew. Well, the Oscar nominations are out, and it is a big year for streaming services. While one of the world's biggest stars does get snubbed. The Netflix film The Power of the Dog leads the field with 12 nominations, including a nod for Best Picture. The sci-fi movie Dune came in second with 10. Apple TV Plus grabbed its first Best Picture nomination for the movie Coda. Meantime, Lady Gaga failed to get nominated for her role in The House of Gucci. The list of Best Actress nominees does include Nicole Kidman, Penelope Cruz, Kristen Stewart, Jessica Chastain, and Olivia Colman. You can see the entire list of nominees on our entertainment page at clickondetroit.com. All right, during the Winter Olympics, we have plenty of news for you during the day, of course, and you can watch First at 4 right here online or on your favorite streaming service. Plus, we'll have a special edition of Local 4 News every night at 10 p.m. at clickondetroit.com. That update will also be streaming live on our Local 4 Plus app, which you can download to your smart TV, Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV. It is free and it's really easy. It's just like downloading an app for your phone, but right onto your TV. So join Kim and Devin tonight at 10 o'clock. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here, First at 4, and here on clickondetroit.com and Local 4 Plus as well. We are going to leave you now with an exclusive story that I've been working on, and you can see it tonight on Local 4 News at 5. It's a promise he's never made before, telling a local father he'd find his son, no matter what.
If you don't quit, I said I won't quit. When I found those...
It was almost like a clue.
It was.
It took nearly 3 months to find the body of Brendan Santo. Police, authorities, divers did countless searches, but it took one private investigator to solve the mystery right here.